How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having a great and exceptional day. Today's word of the day is undervalued. It stands for rate something insufficiently, highly fail to appreciate, underestimate the financial value of something. And I think a lot of people underestimate the value of themselves in a lot of ways, not even just from an economic standpoint, but just from a mental standpoint where they can physically places that they can actually go to standpoint. I think that when people are in professions that um, allow them or require them to travel a lot, it shows them the value that they can bring to the table. Like great example, the great people that serve in the military, a lot of them get a chance to travel around the world. From Asia to Africa to some South America, sometimes the Caribbean. Definitely Europe, Australia. So they get to see, especially the ones that want to, they get to see the good of the different cultures around the world and how other people live, and it allows them to appreciate what they have in the United States, and it also allows them to have an opportunity to see the things that they can, sometimes they might end up learning another language. Their kids might be born in that country, so they see what it's like for their kids to grow up a little bit around different cultures and things of that nature. So it develops a level of appreciation and whatnot. It broadens one's perspective. Even though old person I used to work with, older another gentleman, not calling him old, but he used to state people can go around the world 1,000 times but never leave the front doorstep. And I myself can't wait to travel more internationally, but I want to go with an open mindset and not with a negative mindset like a lot of, because even unfortunately a lot of people come to the United States with a negative mindset, and I think, don't just base off anything that's said on social media, what's shown on the news, especially. Get the opinion on your own. It's like it's like a great example. Back when I used to be quote unquote a movie person, I don't think most of the movies out that come out today aren't really worth watching. But when I used to watch a lot of movies, I remember that everybody would always say, "Well, on Rotten Tomatoes, it did such and such." I'm like, well, "Who cares what they say?" I'm like, "I'm the one watching the movie. It's about my opinion. It's not about Rotten Tomatoes' opinion or any other freaking movie critic's opinion. It's about what I like. It's not about what they like." I mean, because like I said, majority of the movies that come out nowadays, I don't like them because they're all mythical fantasy stuff, and it's not. I grew up watching the Training Days, the Lean on Me's, the Boys in the Hoods, you know, what else? Reservoir Dogs, watching Pulp Fiction, action-packed movies or movies that had a statement, not just mythical nonsense and things of that nature. But that's just me. If you like that, that's your business. I don't care. But anyways, point is, I never watch a movie based on what somebody says. I never, like if that was the case, then I never would have watched any movies. Or I never watch, when it comes to content online based off what other people say. YouTube, they'll do a great job of recommending certain videos, that coexist with the videos that I always watch. And sometimes I like what they recommend, sometimes I don't. But once again, it's based on my opinion. So never undervalue. A lot of people live an undervalued life. Based, moral of the story of today's word of the day. A lot of people live an undervalued life based on other people's opinions. That's why when it comes to the way people feel, the way people look, the way people dress and whatnot, they want to base it off other people's opinions. A lot of people graduate from high school physically, but a lot of times mentally they never graduate from high school, meaning that they're still worrying about what other people think about them, about how they look physically, how they dress, where they live, what kind of car they drive, all that other materialistic popularity contest nonsense, like you're the captain of the football team and or you're trying to be, the head cheerleader and things of that nature. And I just find that to be astounding that people, when they even get older in age and they start their own families, they start their own lives, they still worry about what other people think on a regular basis. And that's just, to me, that's just not a life worth living. You know what I mean? So, anyways, today's quote of the day is by Warren Buffett. I've been reading his book, The Making of an American Capitalist. Great book. If you get a chance, check it out. See if I can get it in here. The good old filters. Anyways, there it is. There it is. Anyways, so he stated, I read these terms and I didn't believe them. And I told Charlie Munger, his friend, the terms as announced, and he couldn't believe it as I couldn't believe it. But it was there in black and white on the Dow Jones tape and whatnot. And it's basically they were talking about looking over specific financial statements of a financial corporation of Santa Barbara, and Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, they instantly reached the same conclusions. Westco was giving away the store. Under the merger terms, holders of Westco would exchange their undervalued stock for shares in Santa Barbara, which seemed highly overvalued, quoting Warren Buffett. And another thing is book value is a useful gauge for most banks. Since a bank's assets consist of loans and other financial assets, intangibles such as brand names are usually insignificant. Now, what I'm going from there is, like, you saw me talking the other night with my friend James Shropshire in regards to the banks and whatnot. I was like, well, if you're going to put money in this machine and you know that they're going to invest your money, why aren't you trying to invest any of your money? It's like I said, don't hate the player, hate the game. And a lot of things are overvalued, a lot of things are undervalued. I mean, heck, certain real estate in certain areas, my personal opinion, is just overvalued because my mindset, if I'm paying $500,000 to $1 million for a house, it needs to be within a 10-minute radius or 20-minute radius of darn near everything. And that goes from jobs to fitness, physical fitness to, any sort of entertainment, from going to a concert, going to a comedy show, some sort of nightlife, something for the kids, like everything needs to be within that radius. The view better be impeccable. There better be neighborhood security. I could go on and on, like I said. But that's just my personal opinion. So at the end of the day, never undervalue your life based on what others say, based on what others do. Value your life on your terms and live a life based on your terms, because at the end of the day, it's your life. And it's like I always say, everyone's a CEO. They just don't realize it. You are the CEO of your own life, whether you want to realize it or not. All right. So do the great 3 free things: like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. And as I always say, make money moves or you will live like a fool. Take care.